Already? Okay. All right. No. All right. Morning. It is 9:04. Apologize for starting a little late. We have technical difficulties, but it looks like everything's good to go now. So it is the 10th day of March, 2025. It is currently 9:04 a.m. We are at the Aquarium Education Center located at 706 Navigation Circle, Rockport, Texas, 78382. And I call this notice of regular meeting to order. Please stand and join me at the invocation.
Father God, as always, we're thankful for the blessings of this new day and the beautiful weather that you've given us, and just the great privilege of living in this county and this part of the world. And Lord, we just pray your blessing over this meeting today, each and every person that's here, the commissioners, as they consider the business of this county. And Father, you've told us through your word that the safest place for any of us to be is in the center of your will. And so this morning, Lord, as we go through these agenda items, we just pray that these commissioners will search out your will and make their decisions according to it, because that's the way we know that it's for the best benefit of the citizens of this county. And it's in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Please join me with the pledges. I pledge allegiance to the flag of
the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible.
All right. Will the clerk please call roll?
Commissioner Cheney.
Here.
Commissioner Castelline.
Here.
Commissioner Russo. Here. Commissioner Dutnick is absent, and Judge Garza.
Here. We've got a quorum. At this time, we have citizens to be heard. Do we have anybody signed up online? Nope. Okay.
And I just received an email from Ginger saying she's not going to be able to make it in for the number one
Okay.
item on her agenda.
I'm going to strike number one. We'll move on to item number, section number 7, actually consent agenda. Do I have a motion to accept the consent agenda?
Motion to accept the consent agenda.
I'll second that.
We've got a motion and a second.
Commissioner Cheney.
Aye.
Commissioner Castelline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo. Judge Garza.
Aye. Consent agenda is accepted. Yes, sir.
You want to recognize number 12?
Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me. I'm going to recognize Jim Freeble. Item number 12. He made a donation to the Urance County Library in the memory of James. Oh, I'm sorry. Who made?
Peggy, his wife.
Peggy made it in the memory of James Jim Freeble in the amount of $200. Thank you.
She used to be our county clerk.
Right. Yeah. We're going to move on to item number 13.
Move to approve order O-02-2025, an order of the County of Aransas, Texas, prohibiting outdoor burning for a period of up to 60 days.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Commissioner Cheney.
Aye.
Commissioner Castelline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo. Judge Garza.
Aye. Motion passes. Oh, yes.
I thought we should maybe say how long this goes through, because I think it goes through the 9th of April, right?
Have to look at it. Yep, 9th day of April. Yep. No burn until the 9th. And then it might get extended down. Item number 14.
I move to approve resolution R, resolution R 06006-2025. Resolution support HB 1378, House Bill co-authored by Representative Burdell and Troxel, and is a bill relating to municipal and county regulations of certain electrical energy storage.
I'll second that.
We've got a motion and a second. Any discussion,
I'll
Commissioner?
just mention this because I know there's the Commissioner next. But this is a resolution asking for consideration of restricting where lithium batteries may be stored I know that AEP is very much concerned about this because they are a tremendous fire hazard. And Commissioner Dubnik has talked to all of the area fire departments, and they do not have the facilities to handle this type of fire. So we need to bring that to the legislature. And when I was up in Austin with the judge a couple weeks ago, we did talk to our representatives about that.
Just for some general knowledge on that, they're talking about lithium battery storage or lithium concept. And that environment very, very hot, and it's extremely difficult to put out. And very hazardous. And I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, and you've just got to let it burn out, right, Brad? You just let it burn out, and I can't remember what town, but it could cause a massive evacuation of certain areas because they're so bad. And they were actually eyeing up around Pearl and in Enterprise. These landmen are coming up trying to get leases for that area.
Well, I think the one they're more seriously looking at is on 188.
And that one-
right close to that power station, but oddly enough, they have one right by a major subdivision in Portland, just
Yeah.
right across the street.
And it's not so much that we want to restrict having the battery stations. It's just that they are very dangerous in populated areas. And so, you know, I don't think we'd be opposed to non-populated areas, at least I would. It's not a typical fire.
Right, it's a good thing to support.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casserly.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes. Item number 15.
Approve the fourth quarter 2024 report for the Aransas County Historical Commission.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Mr. Hatman. Morning.
Morning.
Pretty.
I think I sent handouts that you folks should have on the, I brought a couple extra for the 2024 results for you, but I think if you were providing, if you want one, I'd be able to spare.
I think we got it.
We budgeted $10,000 for the year 2024. Our expenses were about 7,700, and we're returning about 2,300 to the county. The details are they're in. Don't ask me a lot about the details. Erin Brown is not here to tell me how she spent the money. So I can refer to some of it for you. So that's regarding 2024. Do you have any questions?
The only thing that I noticed is in 2024, under conference and training workshops, there was a total of $1,982 spent. But for the new year, they've only allocated 500.
Yes.
So I'm not sure that's a realistic number unless somebody was just getting.
Well, if you look at the newer budgets, we put more money in those categories.
Okay, then we don't have that page. I just have one that shows
Okay.
the 2025 budget.
I think I might have a little bit. The reason that in 24 they had that expense was there was a conference or something that was out of state. There was some kind of award that somebody
It was an award.
was given, so it's a one-time thing.
Okay.
It wasn't gonna be as long.
It was an award for the chairman of the Aransas County Historical Society.
That's right.
And so she traveled up to Austin, I believe, for the award, so that accounts for some of it, but
Thank you.
you're looking at the education outreach areas that where you're at. Commissioner
Pardon me?
Pat, you will look for the 1900, you were looking at the education outreach category, is that right?
No, I think it was under conference and training workshops.
Conference and training.
Oh, yes,
Under the
it's, sorry, it
education.
is under the subsection of
Yeah.
education
That's what I
outreach.
thought, yeah, that we did spent a lot of money in that area, so, yeah. Moving on to the 2026 budget that we put up for approval. One thing I wish I had included was what you voted on last year, which was 2025, so what copies would it be?
A little early for the 26th.
Yeah.
Not very
Not very far.
Well, we
We'll get started on the
we
6th.
do it every year this time, I don't know,
I don't like being here.
we're asked to do it, so.
We prefer that.
Yeah. The 2025, again, we budgeted $10,000. And these are the categories we're voted on for last year. One thing we've done in 2026, you'll see education outreach went up from 3,000 to 3,500 because it seems to be that's where a lot of the expenses have been going. Historical markers, we've budgeted for 2. Archives, pretty much the same, maintaining the archives. I think membership and subscriptions, we dropped a couple of dollars there, $100 or so. So same with office supplies. So I think the bigger categories are historical markers and education outreach and handling the archives. So.
Sounds good.
Cool.
So
Thank you, Mr. Hammond.
Good.
That's it, thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
thank you.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castellan,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye. Item number 16.
Move to approve the request for reduction of the surety for the Maria subdivision based on the submitted cost estimates and engineering report.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah.
This request to reduce the surety bond Maria subdivision comes from the developer. This subdivision, the final plat was approved through the city of Aransas Pass because a portion of it is within that half-mile ETJ, and our interlocal agreement with the city of Aransas Pass puts that in their jurisdiction for approval. It doesn't specify the surety financial aspect of it. And since this is also within the CCN of the city of Rockport, both municipalities asked the Aransas County to hold the bond. So that is why this is coming before y'all. The submitted reports from the engineer on record, Brandon Carl, show that that 50% has been, more than 50% has been completed, and those have been reviewed by Mr. Seibert. Is there any questions?
So we're decreasing it because a lot of the work has been done and we don't think we need that much protection for future. That was gonna be my question.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
Commissioner Cheney, Commissioner Castellan,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes. Item number 17.
Move to approve the contract renewal for Charlie Marshall Funeral Home and Crematory Incorporated for the transportation of bodies to autopsies and cremation and transportation of offer.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second.
The contract renewal. And it is already allowed in the contract itself for it to be extended, and so there's a proposed letter for you to send to Charlie Marshall to make them aware of the commissioner's court. If approved, that the commissioner's court wants to renew the contract.
Okay. And then we'll get to numbers later because they don't have any numbers.
It's the very same, I believe it's $495.
Okay.
And $500 for each.
All right.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castellan,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes. Thank you. Item number 18.
I move to approve retaining the law firm of Allison Bass and McGee LLP as legal counsel for assistance with the Aquarium project and authorizing the county judge to execute a retainer agreement for these services.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second. This is, as y'all know, we got a project coming up. We're gonna rebuild the aquarium. And we're just gonna use Jim Allison for for all the legal. Any other questions? All right.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castellan,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
All right. Item number 19.
I move to approve the bid received in response to the invitation for bids for road materials for year 2025, road culverts and pipes.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Morning, Darryl.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. Just as a reminder, back in December, we went out for our annual road materials quotes, bids for road and bridge, and we did not receive any bids for culvert pipe. So we went back out since then, and we received one bid, and the staff recommends approval.
Daryl, I know we just received
Yes.
one bid, so it's like, well, we're either gonna take it or leave it, I guess. I was surprised that you weren't a rater. There was only one rater, and that was Eric. Was that
There
just-
really wasn't much of a to rate in this instance. I did reach out to the two providers, suppliers from the 24 budget. And I don't know exactly why the other company didn't submit a bid.
There's so much state stuff going on right now that they're probably tied up with that.
Potentially.
I mean, they're doing stuff all over the state.
Are these prices pretty reasonable?
They went up 15%. It's
Okay.
probably common right now, unfortunately.
Okay. All right.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castellane.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes. Item number 20.
I move to approve accepting the report for the dietitian for evaluation of menu, which is part of the routine operation annually.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Morning, Sheriff.
Morning. I do want to bring this to the attention of the court. It's something we routinely do periodically, have the menu evaluated because sometimes we make changes as prices fluctuate. And you can see, I think in her letter, she's talking about some of the changes that we did make and committed the staff for choices and kind of help control the costs in the jail, but not anything, I guess, that y'all have to take action to approve or disapprove, but I was presenting it to the court for y'all to be aware that it's something that we follow up on. Don't leave it to chance. Get complaints all the time to jail commission. I'm being malnourished, and usually we get their
Well, they all look malnourished.
get their medical file out and show where they're putting the weight on, and they may not like what we're serving or want, order, but it's in compliance, and we're satisfying the nutritional needs of the inmates.
You mean you don't try to match all their personal dietitian?
We have special trays that do come out for medical reasons. Yeah, they would like an open menu, I think.
Well, I was impressed that Tim Crow has been able to keep the costs either stable or perhaps increased a little, but receive kudos from the dietitian because they're nutritious alternatives and offering more protein and nutrients. So that's
Exactly.
quite an accomplishment, giving them healthier food for the same or a little less money. So
It is something that, he's done well. He worked at it hard. I do get a monthly report where I know cost per tray and we'll watch it. Some months it'll fluctuate up and down as market prices, or maybe it's a seasonal deal. In November and December, we'll see a bump up because he tries to go with the traditional deal at the holidays with turkey for him. And it costs us a little more, but over the year, then it averages out and go up and down with it.
All right.
Commissioner Cheney.
Thank you.
Aye.
Commissioner Castellane.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes. Item number 21.
I move to approve the annual presentation of the Department of Public Safety Profile Report.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Sheriff.
This is an annual report that we have to supply to DPS after the first of every year, and it's a total accumulation of all the traffic stops that we conduct in the county, either on routine patrol or even on interdiction grant work with Stone Garden or whatever. It's a recording of the stop, the results of the stop. It breaks it down in enough ways to make your head spin sometimes. It talks about searches and what was found and what, consent, no consent. It's done in every ethnic, by gender as well. And it's pretty detailed report. But it's part of just one of the reports that we have to file, and we had to present it to the court annually for y'all's review and make of it what you want, but it's presenting it for y'all to have a copy, and sometimes you look at it later, holler if you have any questions.
Now, the percent seem certainly like they are not profiling any group in the area.
That's become a difficult deal to do anyway with the tinting that people have been putting on their windshields. There's a lot of times you can't see even in the car when you're approaching them, who's in there, what's going on. Even driving at them, some dealerships and people have taken some liberties. I think the tint's getting darker and darker, but
But if they stop them, don't they have to put down the window and talk to them?
yes,
Okay.
but I mean, the argument is that we're
Oh, I.
targeting our stops based on race or gender, you know. That kind of goes out the window. And then when you look at these numbers, we'll reinforce and back it up as well, that we're pretty representative of population here. And that's a tough deal to follow because it fluctuates, you know, during the winter as well. It changes quite a bit here.
All right. Thanks, Sheriff.
Thank you.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castelline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Hi. Item number 22.
I move to approve Aransas County applying for coastal erosion planning and response act grant for providing additional funding to assist the county with the match share of the FEMA Texas Division Emergency Management Hazard Mitigation Grant Program DR 4332-015 Lamar Beach Road Drainage Project.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second.
Right now.
Morning, Al.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. Last Wednesday, we went to the CAPRA workshop, and when we spoke to the program manager, he suggested that we go ahead and apply. That we have, we have a perfect project as far as the shoreline. So Darrell and I will go through the budget and we'll be able to pull out what was budgeted for the roadway. And then we won't be applying for the whole 3.3 million because part of that is the roadway. So we'll be applying for what we can.
So this is the drainage project that goes back into Lamar toward the old golf course. Is that-
No, sir,
Or this is just the beach?
Raising the road and stabilizing the shoreline.
Okay.
And putting the breakwater.
But you said we're not going to raise the road by 1 foot.
No, we are going to raise the roadway 1 foot. The CAPRA grant will not pay for that part of it.
Will not cover any.
So
of
who's
it.
paying for that?
That'll be part of our match, that we have to crunch some numbers.
Actually, if I may add, we also have the grant from TDM, the mitigation grant, the 404 grant, and that should cover the road part of it. We can split the project up where we should be pretty close to 100% on the, am I correct? Yes, what the CAPRA grant is to assist the county with our match.
Right.
Because of the large amount, without that assistance, that project was in jeopardy based on those numbers. But we will be able to turn in reimbursements. We'll just have a smaller match that the CAPRA grant won't cover that we would have had regardless for our percentage share for the county on that project. Just our percentage will be narrowed down to the road work instead of all of the entire 3.4 million that it would have been
That's good.
without the CAPRA grant. So it gave new life to this particular project to be able to move forward.
So do we already have that money or you have to apply for that also?
We have to apply for this one.
Okay,
The deadline is May 1st to apply for the CAPRA grant.
so we could also use the Go Mesa, but I think we're talking about using some of that somewhere else. I'm thinking maybe we need kind of a budget on the Go Mesa money so we know more in the future what's left in there.
It has a sizable, there's like
Yeah, I know it's quite a bit.
$4 million in
Almost how much?
5 million.
So,
I lost what I was going to say.
Anyway, I'm just talking about, because when we're coming up with these grants, not
Right.
necessarily everybody is aware of that money is there to be used.
Well, and what I was gonna say is we also had the election where we authorized to sell debt for that match. So if commissioners chose to sell debt, we've already had that authorized through an election. And that's like $1.2 million.
Okay.
If you choose to do that for match.
All right.
So the TITA money, we've already been approved for that, right? We received that award letter, so we know we have that to go towards the raising of the roadway. And the CPR or KEPR or whatever will help with all of the other costs associated with our match. Auditor's department keeps finding ways for us to do projects. Good job.
Actually, GLO came to us with this one.
Oh, well then, good for them.
Oh,
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo, Judge Garza.
item number 23.
I move to approve authorization to award contract to Pate Dawson for professional TSPS Category 1A title survey and coastal boundary survey performed by certified LSLS for Gomesa CMP PSM project. Too many initials in here. Copano Cove Ranch Acquisition Project General Land Office Contract Number 24-099-005-E379 with one amendment.
I'll second that.
All right.
I got a couple of questions.
All right, let me
What
distribute this first.
are the abbreviations?
The Coast Gomesa Gulf of Mexico Energy Security, Alliance, I believe, I apologize. Coastal Act, thank you. No, I appreciate it. CMP stands for Coastal Management Program. PSM stands for Project of Special Merit.
I would just request that we put that stuff in here. I mean, everybody knows what Gomesa is because we've done it for years. But the other two, I didn't have any idea what they were. But anyway.
Okay, I will explain my amendment. When looking at this packet, I was very surprised at the length of the subcontractor section, which is found on page 23. Because for better or worse, I do read all of the documents that we receive. So then I contacted the engineering firm that's been commissioned to do this survey that we awarded last November. Here we are in March, finally getting the contract. And I asked that person if they could, and this was Bobby Mengden, a gentleman I do not know, but works for Pate Dawson, if he could review the subcontractor section in this contract. And what he sent me was what the contract, and that's what I've given everyone here, and I'll give you a copy, Misty, when we finish. The original contract that was presented with the RFQ, and it states that up at the top, RFQ 2024-1002, had one paragraph. Consultant may not subcontract any or all of the work and obligations due under the contract without prior written consent of the county. Subcontracts, if any, entered into by the consultant shall be in writing, subject to the requirements of the contract. If consultant chooses to enter into a contract with the subcontractor, county shall be in no manner liable to any subcontract. In no event shall this provision relieve the consultant of the responsibility for ensuring that the services performed under all subcontracts are rendered in compliance with the contract. That seems reasonable. The rest of this that was put in later, but not shared with the engineer, does not seem reasonable. And so I am requesting that we go back and approve the contract that was put out with the RFQ 2024-1002 as shown on this sheet. So that was what my motion was. I'm sorry. Oh, and Mr. Mangum is online.
Then this cannot proceed today.
And I apologize, I'll have to defer. I don't know when it comes to the provisions that were put into the subcontract. I'll have to defer to Adela on those.
I'm not sure that's correct, Adela. It seems like changing the contract and not letting the engineer of record know that you are changing the contract when this has been 3.5 months in negotiation and not pointing it out to us that that had been done.
Okay, so first on every RFQ and RFP that issues, what
I want you to respond to this, please. It's our commissioner's court. I want you to respond to this item.
Okay, just trying to commission.
and in this RFQ, as in every other RFQ and RFP, Eric Smith will attach a sample contract. It is not always the contract that will match what will eventually come into being. What he is doing is providing notice of what a contract from Aransas County may look like. But additionally, I have all the emails saved of every time that I interacted with Kate Dawson and every time they interacted with me. My main contact has been Brian Lawrenson. But he and John Cooper and 3 or 4 other people from Kate Dawson are on the emails that I send, as are 4 or 5 different people from the county. So for him to say he was not aware, I take issue with, because Kate Dawson most certainly was aware.
And has Dawson basically agreed with the
There have
contract
been,
is presented right
yes,
now?
sir, and there have been 4 presentations back and forth of drafting for the contract. Most recently, when I was at the conference on Thursday, they were emailing even then. Eric called them, they had accepted all the terms that were in the final presentation, which is in writing also, and that's the one we posted online.
Let me say that I think this is overreach. And if this is on your part, then it is overreach on your part. What you have placed in here, I think, is extremely cumbersome. I know you have held up this contract, and I know that you sought opinions from the Attorney General that were going to agree with what your interpretation was, and that the Attorney General's opinions have come back contrary to that. I would very much like for us to have a contract that was what was sent out with the RFQ.
I don't know what you're talking about the Attorney General.
So what's the difference between what's in the contract and this one paragraph? Does this protect the county more?
I do not have the RFQ in front of me, on the subcontractors in the contract itself. This is a standard term of prior written consent from the county. If you even look at Teal's contract, that one's in there. And then we're saying notify us of which subcontractors you want, which they already have when they submitted their proposal.
It says this in what was attached to the RFQ. I do not think this other stuff needs to be in there.
I'm sorry, I don't know what other stuff.
I'm talking about beginning with the parties agree and ending with immediate termination of the contract. Those 2 additional paragraphs that were inserted in, that's what I'm talking about. In the contract that you had in our package for discussion today. Do you have that? It's on page 23.
Yes, ma'am. The parties agreed that the term subcontract includes the main contract between the contractor and subcontractor, as well as amendments, change orders, change directives to the main contract. That's the definition. Subcontracts entered into by the contractor shall be in writing and require each subcontractor to the extent of work to be performed to be bound to the requirements of the contractor's contract with the county, including contract documents and funding requirements. This right here is another, second sentence is a term.
Well, keep repeating. Each subcontract shall identify all descriptions of work to be performed by the subcontractor and the total expected payment to be paid by contractor to subcontractor, including payment structure and whether payment will be unit-based or in lump sum. In addition, contractor represents and warrants it shall produce to county within 5 business days of the execution a copy of the subcontract or any amendments thereto, and agrees the failure to timely provide such to county shall constitute a breach of contract and may result in immediate termination of the contract.
Right, so not only is this a GLO grant where.
Did GLO say these paragraphs had to be in here?
No, ma'am, but that doesn't
All
stop
right.
me from writing a good contract. This is requiring everybody to turn their stuff in.
Commissioner, I think if Kate Dawson is in agreement with the contract that's on
Do we have
that's
something
on
in
the
writing?
agenda that, well, they're gonna have to sign it and send it back.
It is in writing from them as late as Thursday, but any amendment or proposed amendment or change back to the contract cannot report under the Open Meetings Act because it has not been posted for 72 hours, but also it has not been presented to Pete Dawson. And if it was presented to someone else from Pete Dawson who approved this contract. But we have got to produce records for the project, and this is language that requires even their subcontractors to produce it.
But this is not required by GLO. This language is not required by GLO. Did you not just say that?
No, ma'am, you asked me if GLO told me to use this language. To which I said.
Did GLO require this to be inserted in this contract? That's what I'm asking you. And I believe you said no.
And I think it takes the court to terminate the contract. If they send the stuff on the 6th.
I would like for her to answer that question. Did GLO require you to insert these paragraphs into this contract?
No, ma'am, but I am an
That's it.
attorney, and
That's
I
it.
can write.
That's the only question I have.
Can I interrupt?
No, ma'am.
And I could oral.
No.
Yeah. All right, I think,
Is there someone from Dave Dawson online? Did you say come?
you see with Pate Dawson?
Yes. Mr. Mangton, are you online?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes. So the assistant county attorney is stating that there were other people with Pate Dawson who may have seen the change in that contract. Are you aware of that?
Yes, Commissioner, the project manager, Brian Lawrenson, who she mentioned, has been handling a majority of the correspondence as it relates to this contract. I guess I was a little bit unsure. I just wanted to show you the difference between this contract and the one that was produced as part of the RFQ. And I apologize, I haven't spoken to Brian this morning. And so there may have been previous correspondence about the contract that's on the agenda. My understanding is that the biggest concern about the subcontractor portion of this agreement was that there may be some conflict of interest with one of our subcontractors. And we were asked by the attorney's office if we agreed to keep the subcontractor, and we said that we did, that we thought that they were an important addition to our team, and that's Griffith and Brundrett. They have an extensive amount of experience with the property in question, so we thought that they would be an important addition to our team and add value. And there was some question from the attorney's office that there may be a conflict using Griffith and Brundrett, since they are currently the Aransas County surveyor. I didn't see that there would be a conflict, and in speaking with Jerry and Brad Brundrett, they didn't see that there would be a conflict either, as they have been on other teams prior to this and providing surveying duties. So I think that's where most of the confusion lie, is that there may be a conflict utilizing them in assisting us with this contract.
There's a perceived conflict, but as you mentioned, that firm has been used on many other projects, including the current county courthouse.
I did reach out
Yes,
to Jim
Commissioner.
Allison. I did reach out to Jim Allison about potential conflict, and he said there's no conflict.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mangton. I appreciate it.
But Mr. Bangton, that's Commissioner Casterline. Have you all seen the contract that's before us, and are y'all acceptable of the way it's written right now?
Yes, sir, assuming that there is no conflict with the utilization of our subcontractors.
Okay.
I don't think there's no conflict.
And Commissioner Russo's motion, I believe, is to not approve the way it is, to amend it.
Right.
Okay.
That's a motion on the floor.
Okay, so what we're saying is that I'm getting here is one, Commissioner Russo has conflict with the way it's written. You think the language is incomplete, perhaps?
I think it's unnecessary.
Say it again.
I think it's unnecessary. What I will do is I will withdraw my motion
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion approved and it's seconded. Roll call.
Commissioner Cheney.
Aye.
Commissioner Castellane.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye. It's approved. Item number 24.
I move to approve the Aransas County Indigent Health Care Report for February 2025.
Got a motion and second. Who's not here?
Is that online?
Commissioner Cheney.
Aye.
Commissioner Castellane.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye. Item number 25.
Move to approve the updated job description for executive assistant and senior mechanic. On the bunnies.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Morning, Miss Desiree.
Good morning.
Mr. Van Meter.
So Anthony just wanted the relationships to match what they actually are. And then once he made those changes, I just updated the physical requirements and acknowledgement as needed. So there's no new duties and no new monies.
Just allows an easier transition in the event that we need that transition. Someone's out of town.
Sir.
And you're changing the line of authority for the senior mechanic, so that person reports directly to you
Yes,
or
ma'am.
to whomever's
Yes,
in
ma'am.
that position.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And once this is passed, the other supervisors and assistant supervisors will be informed of that new relationship.
Yes, ma'am. All right.
Commissioner Cheney.
Aye.
Commissioner Castellane.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passing. Item number 26.
Move to approve budget line item transfer.
Second.
Motion second.
We do have some budget line items. Most of these are just cleanup where, during the budget process, the actual salary was put in the wrong line. Also some additional, scanner that the elections office bought and in the election contract, fund. So these are just basically cleanups. We will be doing we have signed the agreement, we entered the letter of engagement with our auditor, so we started the process on our audit for the last, for 24.
So you said the election office bought that scanner, that was the $27,000.
Yes, no. It was 25,000, but we had to do an amendment of 25, I've got it, let me see here. It's $27,000, yes, ma'am.
That wasn't the high-speed scanner. That was like 60
This was
grand.
a very.
Oh, okay.
scanner, yeah, it
It's a
wasn't
different
the one that we-
Because I was gonna say, I thought we.
Yeah, we didn't, we said no.
That was
No,
like
this one
70.
was purchased back in like February last year.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
anyway.
I know, it got me too. I was like, oh.
Oh, no, it's not the same.
Commissioner Cheney.
Aye.
Commissioner Castellane.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes. Item number 27.
Move to approve accounts payable, payroll liability.
Second.
You have, the normal payroll liabilities as well as accounts payable that I would like to, review some. We did have, this report does include our insurance premiums that we approved, which was $887,472.83. Also, it, includes a payment to Lloyd Gosling of $10,167. And our capital projects, it includes a payment to Mott McDonald for Cedar Bio of $16,643. To BLS for generators of $15,470. Grant Works for the GLO street projects at $68,095.89. And Mott McDonald for the same GLO projects of $113,662.81. It includes, 3 payments, actually 2 invoices in the retainage for Brizzo Construction. We've gotten all the final stuff on that, all of the, information that we needed for GLO for us to get reimbursed for everything. And it's $1,696,827.72. This is the Southeast Aransas project. Lone Star Grant, we purchased a computer for $3,647.96. This is through the SO. As well as training for canine training of $500. Reliable Chevrolet, we purchased 2 Tahoes and 3 pickups with the SB 22 funds of $222,089. And then some body armor through the SB 22 funds of $556.40.
So that 222,000 plus came out of that state bill.
The SB 22,
Fund.
yes, and
And not just.
right.
Good. I was wondering how many vehicles were in there. Thank you.
Then we also had for the courthouse, we had 2 invoices from Broadus, the December and January invoices that totaled $11,556.61. If you have any other questions, I will be happy to answer them or look them up.
The broadest invoices, I noticed one was for December and one for January. And the December one was about half of what January's was. How many people are they billing us for now in January?
Commissioner, I'd have to look, I'll
look at those later.
on my head.
It was just smart land. Yeah. Because there wasn't wasn't there another fellow that was working with Broadus and coming over also?
So Raphael, when Mark was out of town, Raphael comes over. His last name starts with an R and then his one of them was or something. And then Mike Montreal is also with Broadus. He comes over for special things. He comes in from, I believe, Austin, that area. But Mark is our regular everyday person.
And then I noticed, I think, there were 2 checks that were written to Vacasa. They equaled about $2,200, but that was out of the hotel motel.
Those were refunds, they paid the wrong entity and we had to refund them.
Okay. So it should have been paid for the city or Fulton or something.
As soon as you said what fund it was, I remember seeing it because I didn't do it.
And then, is Renee still here? There was a payment to Richard Dias of about $9,800 for the History Center. Was that when they were working on the AC and those
That's when they
repairs?
did the repair for the roof.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castelline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo, Judge Garza.
Aye, passes. At this time, we'll hear reports from commissioners, elected officials, and department heads. No action will be taken. Commissioners?
I just want to let the court know that the first meeting in April, we're going to have a talk to the judge. We're going to have Fulton Learning Center come and do the Pledge of Allegiance and sing the national anthem for us. So we're going to need a little bit more time on the beginning.
Okay.
And Tracy, we'll need to get where's Tracy?
I'm not right here, sir.
We'll need to get a letter to Ms. Cox.
Okay.
You know, inviting them to do that. I've already talked with her and talked to the superintendent. And that's both good for them. But we will need to get a formal letter to them.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm excited.
Anybody else? Commissioners? Desiree, you have something?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just want to let the court know that each fall, the auditors and I estimate our payroll for the upcoming year to help us calculate our workers' comp contribution. And then at the end of that year, we reconcile actual versus estimate to either pay what we owe them or get a refund. This year, we received a refund of $5,893.
Terrific. So that might be not only due to the payroll, but also lowered.
Workers' comp
Claims.
rates. Yes, ma'am.
Very good, thank you.
And also, while you're there, I wanted to compliment y'all on the way that you run the organization. We had, and I know it has a lot to do at the times and everything, but it's run very smooth. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sheriff, you got something?
Just want to follow up to a presentation 3 weeks ago, and we were doing the surplus in the vehicles. Question came up why we weren't purchasing pickups as opposed to Tahoes, because Tahoes were more expensive. Michael and I were a little confused in that meeting, wondering where that figure came from. I have the invoices. The Tahoes are actually $500 to $1,000 less than the pickups, because they are a state procurement price bid through the Sheriff's Association, and they're pretty strict down. They're not the $80,000 Tahoes that we see advertised in the newspaper. Want to clarify that they're actually cheaper than the pickups were.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. This time we'll hear reports about items of community interest. Anybody? Well, we had Oyster Fest. If y'all missed it, y'all missed it. It was a good time.
It's pretty busy.
Yeah, it's pretty busy. We had a lot going on this weekend. We had the Whooping Crane Strut, Oyster Fest. This was the last weekend of the Smithsonian. So that was a good weekend, and it was a good event for the last 6 weeks there, the first event. So we'll all remember what the first event was there. And we actually had the closing ceremonies in the what's it closed? The courtyard plaza, in the plaza. Good times. Anybody else? All right. Closed session. I understand motion to go into closed session.
I move to go into closed session to consult with counsel and receive legal advice about pending or contemplated litigation, settlement offers, or other attorney-client privilege matters, including but not limited to the items listed below. Francis County, Texas versus Endurance American Specialty Insurance Company et al. Francis County District Court cause number 23-0021. North Star Recovery Service Incorporated versus Aransas County Independent School District in Aransas County. Aransas County District Court cause number 23-0066. Consolidated with North Star Recovery Services Inc. versus HR and R LLC. Aransas County District Court cause number 20-0159. Western Steel Company versus TJ Partners LLC, DIE/A, FPS Recovery LLC, and Aransas County, Texas, cause number 24-0072 in the 36th District Court of Aransas County. Old Castle Building Envelope Incorporated, DBA Graham Architectural Products versus Sharp Glass LLC et al. Aransas County District Court cause number 24-0099. Permissible actions under the county's contract with Teal Construction Company. iWork System Inc., a Utah corporation versus Aransas County, Texas, case number 24-01-00226. In the District Court of the First Judicial District County of Cashew, Utah, and Went Services Inc., Public Information Act request pursuant to section 551-071 of the Texas Open Meetings Act, which authorizes closed sessions to allow for governmental body to consult with its attorneys and receive advice on legal matters pertaining to pending or contemplated litigation, a settlement offer, or on a matter in which the duty of the attorney to the governmental body under the Texas disciplinary rules of professional conduct of the State Bar of Texas clearly conflicts with the Open Meetings Act.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casablanca.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
All right.
Aye.
About 5 minutes, 5 to 8 minutes.
Eight.
Stand up.
Stretch a little bit.
So.
Okay.
After. I think I might like to look at those videos. Maybe for the last 4 months. I can send you the video. I know it's not 10 o'clock yet. I'll send you an email.
Okay.
Okay.
Keeping you busy.
Yes, my first day was that, what do you normally do? Yes. But I just, I don't know. Slow down. But yeah.
I'm glad to see more of those grants. Of course, we've got
It is 10:30. We're at a closed session. Do I have a motion to go back in the open?
I move we adjourn closed session.
Oh, do you want to do that?
Reconvene into open session. How about?
Sounds good.
second.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castleline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Hi. We are in open session and we are going to take no action from closed session. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castleline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo. Judge Garza.
Hi. Thank y'all.